my name is Audrey Price, the Director of Financial Aid here at Lindsey Wilson College. I wanted to share information that could be helpful for every student to know about financial aid. First, we'll talk about types of financial aid. The first type would be institutional aid. Institutional aid is given for your merit awards based off of your GPA or your ACT. It could also be because of being involved in a sport, or maybe your parent is an alum of Lindsey Wilson College. That all is included in institutional aid. The next type of aid would be grants. There are federal grants, there are state grants, and grants are not to be repaid. That is money that will help you with your education that you do not have to repay. The third fund that students are eligible for would be student loans. And sometimes student loans get a bad rap, but it is a resource to help students afford college. So that is an option and a resource out there. And those loans usually are either the federal direct student loans or alternative loans through other lenders. The next type of aid would be work study, and that is actually a federal program that students are eligible for. Students need to know how to apply for financial aid, and each year the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, needs to be filed every year. Oftentimes students don't think they need to file the FAFSA, but in order to receive a financial aid offer from Lindsey Wilson, we do need your FAFSA every year. The FAFSA currently provides you with an EFC, and that is the result of the FAFSA, and we use that in the calculation to determine your financial aid. For the 24-25 school year, the FAFSA will be different, and the results could differ from this current year's academic aid versus next year's financial aid. So it's very important that you know that the FAFSA is not open right now in October, and that it will be open in December, but we are recommending students to file in January of 2024 or as soon as possible when that FAFSA opens. Financial aid is determined based off of several different items. First, we need the FAFSA, and we look at the results from the FAFSA, and we also compare them to the student cost of attendance budget. Also, we look at whether a student is a dependent or independent student and whether they are a commuter student or a resident student. So from year to year, your cost of attendance could be different because of the result of the FAFSA, or because you may be a dependent one year and then you end up being an independent in the next year. Each year, there are tracking requirements that students must complete in order for aid to disperse. The first step is to view and accept your aid on the Student Self-Service portal. The second step is to complete the Business Office Prom Note. The third step is, maybe if you have a student loan, you must complete the entrance counseling and sign the Master Promissory Note for the direct student loans. There may be other tracking requirements, so make sure you pay attention to the Student Self-Service portal. Some students are selected for a process called verification. KIA, Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, is our verification servicer. So you might end up receiving an email from KIA about verification. The FAFSA is a self-reporting form. So sometimes students report information with errors, or maybe there were no errors and you were just a lucky student that was selected to complete verification. Either way, verification must be completed in order to receive any federal or state financial aid. To remain eligible for Title IV funding, also known as federal funding and state funding, students have to be making satisfactory academic progress. Please refer to the student catalog to see the requirements per grade level that you must reach. The GPA and the passing percent rate is evaluated after each term. Please reach out to our office if you have questions about your academic progress and about your financial aid eligibility. If you are not meeting SAP requirements at the end of a term, we will reach out to you via email with a warning. If at the next term you have not reached the SAP requirements, then your financial aid will be terminated. That will be when you are eligible to apply for an appeal or submit an appeal. And that will consist of a statement explaining your extenuating circumstance as well as giving supporting documentation. Reminder, if you aren't eligible for federal student aid, you are also not eligible for the state grants from KIA for Kentucky students. And that also includes the KEYS scholarship. It's important to note, grades are important to keep financial aid eligibility. A few tips I would leave you with is 1, check your student email. We correspond with students mostly through email. If you have questions, feel free to email us back or stop in and see us. If you have a drastic change in financial aid from one year to the next, it's very important that you stop by and we can discuss your aid offer or any questions you may have. Also, never drop a course unless you talk with financial aid first. It's very important that you do this as you might have impacted your financial aid eligibility. And last, follow us on social media for more information about scholarships and upcoming information.